Do you remember this video? It came out in April. Fucking April! That was the start of the pandemic here in Australia. Look how blissfully unaware I am here. I thought it was going to be on for a few weeks and the biggest problem we would have is toilet paper. No, it's been going on for months. It's still going. It's fucking November! And the... Back in April, I thought the biggest problem Australia was going to face would be a lack of toilet paper. Unfortunately, the biggest problem Australia is facing right now is my hair. But considering the fact that the pandemic is still going and there is absolutely no shortage of cringe moments in quarantine, I thought I would just do a little bit of an update for the world to see how far we've come since April. Spoiler alert, we haven't moved, we're going in circles. Back in April, celebrities released one of those cringy fucking videos where they all say one sentence or one part of a song. They decided to sing Imagine by John Lennon and they got absolutely flamed for it to the point where I thought that there is no fucking way anyone would ever do this type of thing ever again. Well, surprise, surprise, a few months later, the same fucking celebrities did the same fucking thing but made it even more cringe. With this video encouraging people to vote, which wouldn't be that bad, apart from the fact that they are all naked for some reason.
I'm naked.
I'm completely butt-ass naked.
I'm naked.
I'm like naked.
There isn't a man behind me. These are my hands.
Look, I really need to get this out of the way before I go ahead and trash this entire video concept, because if I don't say it now, it's just gonna be in my head rattling around. Sarah Silverman has some nice titties. That being said, this video sucks.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ruffalo, put your clothes on.
Read and follow the instructions that come with your ballot.
If they say to use a black pen, use a black pen.
I know that's like literally the least sexy thing a completely naked person could say, but...
Look, I appreciate the message they're putting out there, but is this the best way to do it, you know? Like, sure, go vote, but do I really need to see a compilation of unfit, hairy, naked people that shouldn't be on the internet posting their naked bodies? If I wanted to see that, I could go to any amateur section of Reddit and see a bunch of fucking 3 out of 10s with hairy chests posting their titties. I don't need to see that, guys. I avoid that board. I went there once. It was horrifying. It made me want to vote to make Reddit illegal. Next up, in the last video, I talked about insane customers being insane customers. I never thought that it would get even worse than that. We had an influx of Karens here in Australia. Obviously, you all know of the Brighton Karen who hated quarantine because she's been everywhere.
Well, you get sick of walking the same streets. I've done all of Brighton.
Oh, boo-hoo. Another white mum with money is complaining about doing all of Brighton. You know who doesn't complain about that? Women with money here in Frankston, okay? They don't walk around going, oh, I'm bored, I've done all of Frankston. They don't tell anyone that because it's something to be ashamed of, because when they say they've done all of Frankston, they're talking about being a prostitute. That's the only way to make money in this fucking suburb. And then, of course, we have the Bunnies Karen. Now, I covered this woman, so I'm not going to go too far into it, but an interesting revelation about this lady is that the Bunnies Karen was actually not one woman. It was 2 separate women that filmed themselves abusing Bunnings staff on 2 separate occasions, and they were so similar that the entire world confused them for the same bitch. Imagine that. Like, imagine so much of your personality being dictated by Facebook's newsfeed that if you're on the same algorithm, you might just end up being the same as some other cunt. That is real mind control. And finally, in the Karen category, we have the anti-lockdown, anti-mask protesters.
We're not gonna sit in silence. We're not gonna live with fear.
Now, I'm pro-mask, I'm for the lockdown, but I also do think that protesting should be allowed because I think that's just important for a society. Kind of an unpopular opinion, but I just don't like banning protesting. However, the way that these protesters have been going around it is just kind of funny. Like, sure, protest, do whatever, but I don't know if going to Chadstone Shopping Centre and singing John Farnham songs is the best way to get your point across. My favourite part about that is John Farnham himself was like, whoa, yeah, don't sing my song, you guys are fucking morons.
Manager telling 7 News he violently opposes the use of his song in a public protest during lockdown.
It's very offensive to John and I that they choose to use You're the Voice as the theme of this protest.
And to be honest, I agree. Not because they're protesting, but because they're protesting in a shopping centre. What are you doing? Go to Parliament. Go talk to someone that can actually change the rules. No one in a shopping centre in the middle of the day on a weekday is a winner. They're all losers, all right? The only people that are there are like grown men doing Dance Dance Revolution because they're too embarrassed to do it on a weekend in front of kids because the teens will laugh at them. It's like, yes, they have a high score, but they're not winners. They can't change the rules. Go somewhere that matters. Speaking of insane consumers, this happened very recently when Melbourne downgraded our lockdown rules. So if you're not from Melbourne, we have been stuck in our homes for about 100 days now. We couldn't leave the house unless it was for work or for essential activities like buying food, etc. Now, we recently did so well that we got our COVID cases down to 0 2 days in a row. So they thought, you've earned a little bit more freedom, guys. Congratulations, you can now go and shop for whatever reason, and cafes are starting to open up. Now, those rules changed at 11:59 p.m. Now, me, being a reasonable human, saw that, was like, oh, great. That means, tomorrow I could maybe get breakfast at a cafe. That would be nice. A bunch of fucking lunatics decided that at exactly 11:59 p.m., nighttime, they would line up outside Kmart, a department store. Kmart. Now, let's just be very clear here. Forget about COVID. Forget about the pandemic. Even if there was no disease floating around, if you line up for an hour at fucking midnight to shop at Kmart, they shouldn't let you buy anything. They should let you in the store, and then they shut the doors, and then gas seeps through the roof, and everyone in there dies, and the world will be better for it. What are you buying at fucking 1 a.m.? A bowl? What do you need? Get it online. It's Kmart. It's all made by 9-year-olds anyway. Why are you there? Do anything else with your time. At 11:59, I went for a walk on the beach with my girlfriend. These cunts are out there buying spoons. What are you doing with your life? It's falling apart. And I'm saying that as a man with blue hair. Look, guys, I'm not going to lie. I might need to calm down, all right? It's not my fault. I haven't been able to leave the house for 100 days. I have gone insane, and that insanity will be reflected in my content. So please do enjoy my spiral. Speaking of spiraling, I have blue hair now, which is going to make the top of the list of the quarantine cringe. A massive wave of people just getting dumb haircuts. Luke got a mohawk. I've got blue hair. It's all happening. Like fucking figures that the week I get blue hair, the next week lockdown finishes. So now I'm just going to be a dickhead in public, but it's something that I'm going to have to deal with. Another massive problem that we've been dealing with here in Australia is a massive, gigantic influx of boring dudes starting podcasts because they're bored. Except they haven't been able to leave the house, so they're just talking about their kitchen room. It's like, cunt, why did you start this? It's getting 2 views, one's from your mum and one's from you, and you're just talking about the kitchen. Both of you have seen it. Please delete the show. Speaking of podcasts, you can check out Spearhead Sundays. I talk about my kitchen. But despite all of the cringe we've had to fight through, despite all of this quarantine and COVID shit, it looks like Melbourne is coming through the other end and Australia's coming through the other end. America is... Well, let's get back to how good Australia is doing. We're kind of pulling together. Hopefully we are going to get over this. France is... Well, Australia here in Melbourne, our bars are starting to open up, and, over in Europe, but that's okay, because here in Australia, we're doing great, and if you have a look at, oh, fuck, America's on fire. Jesus Christ, that's a bit hot, but that's okay, because New Zealand's doing great. Guys, well done. I think we're going to get through this, even if you are from one of the countries that are struggling, or if you're from Australia. We're going to get through this, and hopefully... Here in Melbourne, some live shows will be able to come back. It's going to take months from now. A lot of people are asking me, when can you do stand-up again? When can you do shows? I don't know. I know as much as you do. Hopefully it will happen in the next few months and we can do it safely and properly and well. So we'll see, guys. But until then, what's changed for me is quarantine's lifted a little bit so I can have the whole team back in the studio working in person. The reason why the channel has been not uploading at all is because it's just been so difficult for us to properly work without being in the same spot. But that's all changed now. We're back in the same spot. We are working, so main channel videos are going to be coming out a lot more frequently, hopefully, as long as things don't change. So thank you very much. I'm Lewis Spears. Thank you for watching. Please do check me out on Twitch. I've been streaming twice a week, Monday and Wednesday, every single week. It's been a fucking blast. I've really loved it, and I would love to see you there. It's been a great time. So I'm just going to leave you with a clip from my Twitch where I was pretending to be a Kmart employee and answering the questions from all of the customers in the chat. So thank you very much. I'm Lewis Spears. I'll talk to you very soon. Until then, I sincerely hope you have a shit one.